We're here on RealAgriculture.com. We're with Rob Saik from AgriTrend Group of Companies. Welcome today, Rob.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Rob, let's talk about what everybody has been talking about, which is the amount of unseeded acres in Western Canada. What do you suggest as an agronomist? What do you suggest could possibly happen with those acres?
Well, we've been discussing this at AgriTrend with our agri-coaches and senior agri-coaches quite a bit, Sean. And we've gone from rain makes grain to rain is pain for a lot of guys. That there are a lot of acres that won't be seeded. So what do you do with those? One of the things we have to do is we have to keep those acres. At some point in time, we've got to clean up those acres. We've got to do something with them. But one of the debates that's been going around is there anything that we can seed into those acres to make good use of the resource that's there? We want to make sure that we do a couple of things. We want to try to utilize the excess water that's there. We want to try to make sure that there's some weed control in place. We want to make sure that the soil is prevented from becoming too compacted, because that's one of the conditions that can also affect us into next year's crop. One of the things we've been discussing, and Dr. Ian Evans, who's a senior agri-coach with us, suggested that maybe we could look at seeding peas late into the season. And the idea there, Sean, would be that you could pop peas in as late as, into July basically, and the peas would grow and the nodules would fix nitrogen. Peas have a very prolific root system, so that's good for breaking and fracturing the soil. It then would also utilize a lot of the water, because excess water is one of the problems these guys are facing in a lot of the areas. And most importantly, at the end of it all, they could turn around and work those peas back into the soil, in effect returning nutrients in. So this would be a low-cost way to get some cover over top of the crop. And I suppose if they wanted to spray to control the weeds, or maybe use even a Roundup, a glyphos kill down in the fall, you could do that, and then till those peas back down, providing a very significant amount of nitrogen for next year's crop.
So would we call that green manure?
Well, it's an old term, yeah. Green manure would be one of the ways you could do it. And certainly I've worked with guys in Vanderhoof and other places where we've used a green manure program with red clover and plowed that under as part of our rotation. But the guys out there really are in a bit of a bind. We could, I suppose, sow some of the crop to a barley and try to pull it off with silage. But for a lot of guys, there's not a lot of livestock in a lot of areas where this is going to be a problem, and transportation is going to be an issue. So there aren't a lot of options that I see available. That is one that's fairly innovative, and it came out of a discussion at the AgriTrend group. Maybe somebody can make use of that.
A lot of producers are talking about seeding winter wheat this fall. Now, they're not getting much use out of the land this summer, but they're thinking that obviously this spring has had some pain, lighten some load next spring. And I have also heard trying to reduce possibly erosion issues.
Well, we need to control erosion issues. Winter wheat is a great option. Again, not everybody's going to be set up to take advantage of it. Certainly as you get further north in Saskatchewan, there's a lot of areas where climatically it's pretty iffy. So that one would work for a lot of the guys in the southern area, and it gives us some time to clean up the land before we go there.